What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode number 35 of our Cincinnati Reds franchise. In the last one, in case you guys missed it, we ended up beating the New York Mets. We are on a 2-game winning streak against them. We got one more game against Noah Syndergaard and Sal Romano that I'm actually going to simulate. I'd like to get up to this Detroit series just for old time's sake. I do want to go and play against the Tigers. But one thing in this episode I want to tell you guys are the winners. So the winners of the midseason advisor type of role. We had a contest for the All-Star game, pick your winner. We had a couple tiebreakers. Nobody got the tiebreakers correct, so nobody's going to win that. So I'm just taking all of you guys that picked the American League to win, and those guys are Plo Koon, William Winograd, Grandma Taters, Rob Havoc, and Carl Harmax, which I think was Ty Lawson. You changed your name. You changed your YouTube name. But yeah, so guys, you guys are the midseason advisors. And from this point in the season, so we're in June 9th, we've got literally over a month, about a month and a half left of games to go. So we're sitting at 42-22. Things are looking really good. We're in first place right now, 6 games ahead of the Brewers, 10.5 above the Cubs. So for whatever reason, the bottom part of this National League Central is kind of beating up on each other because we got a lot of teams that are in the 500 range. The Brewers obviously having a really good season, but they're kind of scuffling. We're kind of scuffling at the same time, going 4-6 in our last 10. The Cardinals are really struggling, 2-8. So it seems like this is the year. This is the year, 2019. Seems like it's going to be the year that the door's wide open for the NL Central. We don't have Chicago or St. Louis to worry about, who have been really the big-time powers in the NL Central. Up until the last couple years in real life, it's been the Brewers. The Brewers have actually been a really, really good organization to follow, and they're winning a lot of games out there in Milwaukee, so under Craig Counsell. But what you guys are going to be doing as midseason advisors is I want you guys to pay attention to a lot of the statistics for these players, and we will have a lot more updates in the next few episodes. But the statistics are what matters. And as far as being a midseason advisor, the draft has already taken place. The only thing that we really have to worry about at this point are injuries, who's going to take those spots when injuries do occur. Who do you think we should call up just so we can kind of get something going here with some of these guys that have some like big time potential, like Tyler Mahle, and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to let you guys know in this episode who I'm looking to trade. And from that point, I'll show you guys some trade offers that are on the screen. You don't have to make a decision right here and right now on, who you want to go after, but these are just kind of guys that, in the trade screen, we can look at and say, a guy like this, a guy like if we wanted to trade Robert Stevenson, a guy like Will Harris for a relief pitcher for the Houston Astros would make sense as far as trades go. We're in first place. We got to shore up the bullpen, that kind of stuff. So like I said, you don't have to make a decision right now. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to make those decisions, but as advisors, your guys' role is to kind of put those ideas on my desk, so to speak, and eventually from there I'll make a decision. But if we look at Robert Stevenson here, 26 years old, he's not super young, right? But he's definitely got the potential to be an 80 some odd player for us. But the big thing for Stevenson is that I wish they showed you his statistics. Let me go back here real quick. I know I'm kind of all over this place, but he hasn't really gotten it done. 26 years old, 76 overall. He's kind of been doing this same thing up in the major league level. The AAA level last year was not too good for him either. He seems like he's just never gonna pan out for us. So with as many guys that we have down here in the AAA that can pitch and be a starter, are we basically wasting time on Tyler Stevenson, keep giving him opportunities when we could have guys like Chris Rodriguez? I know he's starting for us, but guys like Ariel Hernandez could get the call up at AAA. There's a lot of young guys. Well, he's 27. But like Jared Ambrose, could he be a guy that could find his way into a AAA starting pitching rotation type of job, and get that potential up? He's playing against better competition, yada yada yada. So you guys kind of get where I'm going with that. So those are the type of guys that we want to target to trade off of. Dean Kiefer, 69 overall, doesn't really look like he's going to push the needle for us at all. He might be a guy that we might want to trade. I don't know how much value we would get, because the potential is, as many of you guys have said in the comments, is really valuable for the CPU. They really value potential, which is why Stevenson actually makes sense to sell off on him now. So if we look at this, here's just some MLB ready suggestions, right? So they're kind of all over. So we got Colby Rasmus, Aaron Blair, James McCann, Johnny Venters, Lucas Duda. It's a pretty big haul, honestly. But the issue is with our team is that we don't really have a lot of big time needs. We don't really need a starting pitcher for the major league organization. We do need some relief pitchers, a little bit better in the overall section. We don't need a catcher. We don't need a first baseman. We don't need a second baseman. We don't need a third. We don't really need a shortstop because Peraza is playing well. We got Senzel. We got Defoe in the AAA level. Don't really need a left fielder because you're going to take playing time away from these guys, Winker and Culberson. I'm happy with those guys. Billy Hamilton, you don't really need. We don't need a center fielder. We don't need a right fielder because Schebler is doing what he did last year with 14 bombs, and he's even got a better batting average, right? So I believe in our guys. So I don't want to shake it up too much. But if there's a deal to be made, maybe it's relief pitching. So I actually saw a trade that might be beneficial for us, and it was actually with and I'll scroll through these really slow in just a moment, but actually that kind of trade makes sense. That's a trade that would make sense, right? Ben Gamel, both be potential type of players. This guy's an outfielder. Here's a trade with Trevor Gott, Cole Calhoun. Don't really need Cole Calhoun. He's more of a defensive guy in right field now. He was a pretty good offensive player in the last few years ago. But yeah, not doing too much anymore. This is a trade that could make sense for us. Josh Tomlin and Will Harris. Will Harris, an 87 overall relief pitcher. So if I just went over to the Astros, and let's just see if they would just do it on their own. So they would do this trade, Will Harris for Robert Stevenson. That's huge. We get a veteran arm, right-hander, out of the bullpen, 87 overall. Like, that's big time. That's big time. We can get Leclerc, Will Harris, Lorenzen. I mean, the bullpen just immediately got better just by dealing Robert Stevenson away, right? We are taking a hit in cash flow, but at least, he's not asking for a whole lot on our payroll, but it would make sense. We could probably even go after Davinsky, who's, in my mind, probably the better relief pitcher of the two, even though the overall doesn't indicate that. He's a lot younger, right? He is in his final year. He's asking for a little bit more money than Will Harris, so he would cost us some money. But Davinsky would be huge. I don't know why the Astros would end up wanting to make that trade, though. And here's part of the realism part of all this. Because if we go to the standings, where are the Astros? Yeah, they're in first place. They're 44-22. Why would they want to trade one of their best relief pitchers for Robert Stevenson? What do they see in Robert Stevenson, really? Are they going to use him down the stretch against us? Maybe they like his sabermetrics type of stuff going on. But that's just a trade I wanted to show you guys. A lot more trades that could possibly happen based on some of your guys' feedback. Let's just go here. I want to see MLB ready, though. Just go through these real slow before we get into some gameplay against the Detroit Tigers. I won't say anything. I don't, just as far as like biases go, I'm not going to even say anything. So you guys are ultimately going to decide which trade you like, which trade could be a possibility. So I'll just shut up and we'll go from there. Defoe's back. Keep active. Okay, so we're 49 and 29. Still in first place. We actually gained a game and a half since the last time that we simmed from June 9th. So we're doing really, really good. Maybe not we're doing really good, but our situation is really, really good for the NL Central. So against Jorge Lopez and Kendall Graveman, you guys saw Graveman the last time. I got Sal Romano against Matt Manning. That would actually be a pretty fun game because Matt Manning is one of the Tigers' top prospects. They must have just calling him up too because he doesn't have any statistics on him. So let's simulate this game against Detroit, and let's go to that game. Sal Romano versus Matt Manning. And, plus as you guys being the advisors too, I'm not against making a pitching rotation change because Sal Romano was doing pretty bad. He was struggling big time. Brandon Finnegan has been great out of the bullpen. I don't know if that means that we take him out of that role, but maybe, I mean, can you argue with a .98? He's got to be one of the best relievers in baseball right now. And we can see it in that overall, going way up, right? Because of the numbers that he's been putting out there. His stamina is 73, stamina 78 for Romano. Their numbers are pretty similar, although Finnegan has a better hits and K per 9. Home runs and walks, though, are kind of what does Brandon Finnegan in. Does have a lot more break. He's got more control. He's got more velocity. So it seems like he sets up to be like a guy that could start. That 73 overall stamina is pretty solid. Keuchel obviously is a freak, 92 stamina, 82 stamina for Castillo. But yeah, I mean, our pitching staff isn't doing too bad, but Finnegan might be the guy that you guys want to consider. Amir Garrett, he might be a guy that you want to consider. But even in real life, Amir Garrett's not a starting pitcher, right? They've toyed with that idea. We toyed with that idea in our own series in last season, and that just didn't work out. So it's totally up to you guys. Let me know in the comment section. And, we'll see how he pitches in this game against Matt Manning. But if he struggles, then we might have to do something. So I'll see you guys in the gameplay.
We're live inside Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, the finale of this quick two-game series between the Detroit Tigers and the Cincinnati Reds. Matt Manning makes his big league debut right after this.
All right, so Matt Manning is making his big league debut in Cincinnati. Going to be kind of a tough test for him in my mind, only because I know that our offense is pretty legit. Sal Romano is kind of on a hot streak here. The Cincinnati faithful, they're in full swing here, and we're in first place. So it's going to be a very, very tough game for him. At least we're going to try to make it a tough game. But we see here Sal Romano already in the first inning, kind of getting hit hard a little bit. Nice catch out there in right field by Schebler to end this inning. See Matt Manning's profile here. He's 6'6", 190, 21 years old, so he's very, very young. And if you guys don't know a whole lot about Matt Manning, he's a very, very solid pitcher. He's throwing about 96. He does rely on some off-speed stuff as well. In this at-bat against Jesse Winker, he was exclusively using that off-speed and just could not locate it. So we see Nick Senzel getting the start here at shortstop today over Peraza. And I slid Billy Hamilton down into the number 8 hole. And he's still playing center field, but Peraza's batting about 260. Senzel's batting about 260, so the production is about the same. I think I'd just rather have a guy that can get on base and play defense. So overall, it's just a better defensive group today. We got Senzel at short, Billy Hamilton at center field. Now check this guy out, a rookie for Detroit. We actually highlighted him last season. Power numbers, though, right now, this guy might be pretty good. 22 years old. Left-handed hitter, shortstop, a little bit of Didi Gregorius feel to him a little bit. Gregorius might be taller than 5'10", but yeah, definitely got a Gregorius feel. The power numbers, the fielding, pretty good player for the Detroit Tigers. And in his next at bat, you guys could see that he had a slider that he swung and a miss, and Sal Romano's going to try to pound him in with a fastball, but look at this moonshot. Chavis goes all the way to the water, to the river out there in right field. So Sal Romano just got absolutely schooled there by the Tigers' rookie shortstop, Hector Chavis. And guys, he's a pretty good player. He's a pretty good player. So we had him scouted perfectly. We probably should have drafted him because he's that good. But we see Romano gets out of the top of the 5th inning with a double play ball that was much needed. So it's still 1-0. Let's skip over to the top of the 6th, and we see that Romano is yet again pitching pretty well. But of course, as luck would have it, there's Doug Brocail talking to the umpiring crew out there, and it looks like the rain is not going to let up, so we do have a rain delay. It's going to be about 45 minutes. That's kind of long. It's kind of a long wait. The Tigers actually elected to keep Matt Manning, their rookie, out there after the 45-minute rain delay, and I decided to go with Brandon Finnegan, the left-hander, to come on out and kind of test our theory that maybe he might be ready for a starting gig. 0.98 ERA right now, and his whip is really good. And I wanted to test it out and see, is it just the bullpen role, or is he able to like come on in and have an extended start per se and see how he does? And you guys can see, struck out Miguel Cabrera. So let's jump over to the bottom of the 6th, the very next part of this inning here, and we see Eugenio Suarez. There we go. I'm just gonna say Suarez from now on. I know he's a former Tiger, but it's really difficult to say when things are flying when you're trying to record. Eugenio Suarez. There we go. So yeah, sorry for you guys in the last couple episodes, the 30 plus episodes that I've actually mispronounced his first name. I'm just gonna call him Gino from now on, or Suarez, until I can get the name right. But you guys can see that the double was pointless. Next inning, we see that Brandon Finnegan gets out of the inning, so that's good. Pinch hitting here, Tommy Joseph, he's got a full count. That's Matt Manning still on the mound, and Joseph is going to draw a late game walk, and that's supposed to be Ron Gardenhire. Weird, right? That's how they decided to make him up. So I think that he'd be a little bit bigger, a little more plump, a little more round. But they're going to take the rookie out. So very, very good performance by Matt Manning. If a home run is hit, he cannot lose the game, so he can only get a no decision. So that's probably a good move by the savvy manager, Ron Gardenhire. And now we see that Senzel gets another base hit. So I think that's like that's about 3 hits so far in this game for Senzel. So he's pushing his batting average up around the 270s right now. Runners on second and third, and Gardenhire elects to intentionally walk Joey Votto to load the bases for Daniel Stump. There you go. Put some respect on it. There you go. Nice job, Joey. Way to strike the fear in the heart of the Detroit Tigers management right there. So we get Scooter Gennett up in a 2-2 count facing a lefty, and there's a drive way back to right field. Victor Reyes giving chase, but he's going to make the catch. Scooter Gennett had a bunch of grand slams last season, and the Reds in general in 2018, this season in real life, have had what? I think 10 grand slams, 9 or 10 grand slams. So they're no stranger to making their home runs count. So we're going to the bottom half of the inning. We got Gino up again, Eugenio Suarez, and now we have, I think that is Shane Green up and out of the bullpen, and first pitch swinging is Suarez, and he's going to make a close play, but he's going to be out. So we get Shebler up, 0-1 count. He's going to drive a single right past the gap there between second and first. And now we get Billy Hamilton up with 2 down in the inning. 7 pitches in is Shane Green, and Billy Hamilton does that. So unable to drive the baseball with any type of authority. That's what Billy Hamilton's been doing all season long. Kyle Crockett coming in to try to relieve, and we got a potential catch here at the wall, but Winker unable to scale it. That's a really tough play, man. That's a really, really hard play. Jamer Candelario, solo home run off of Kyle Crockett. Crockett had been pitching well up until that point. He was striking out guys left and right. Now we got an 0-2 count on Cabrera, and he's going to strike him out on a low and outside fastball. So still, Crockett's still pitching very well, and here's Chavis, the rookie, going to strike out looking at a high fastball, and now we're going to go ahead and jump to the next inning. So Charlie Culberson against the left-handed Daniel Norris is coming out there to try to close us out, and Culberson gets a double past Christian Stewart, the left fielder out there, tried to make an athletic play jumping for it, and he's just unable to corral it. So we got a runner on here on second, 2-2 count. Jesse Winker up the top of the order, and a little lazy fly ball in front of Stewart, and Culberson is going home, and Stewart throws to second to try to hold the runner in scoring position. So that's a very, very savvy play. Don't do anything crazy as a left fielder. Don't allow that runner to get to second with nobody down. So we get Nick Senzel again, and he gets another base hit. So the guy's been absolutely killing it. This top of the order, guys, I love this top of the order right now. We get Votto and Senzel, and it's looking like it's going to be a pretty dynamic duo here. We get Joey Votto with nobody down, trying to drive the baseball. He did, but Stewart makes a nice opposite field catch out there, and then we get Jeanette, first pitch swinging, trying to. He likes that high and inside fastball, and I felt like trying to drive it somewhere. I'm shooting for a home run, a walk-off home run here. But look at Gino Suarez, base hit here to Stewart. Stewart's going to challenge the runner at home, but Winker is going to score. The throw is offline, just didn't have enough mustard on it, and Suarez comes through again. So this guy has been clutch for us. The guy is just a professional hitter. I love this offense thus far this season. Even dating back to last season, this offense is just legit. Here's Schebler coming up and trying to win this game, unable to do so. So we are going to extra innings, boys and girls. We're going to go with Jared Hughes on the mound, though. Got to knock that ERA down. Got to try to get him some appearances, some more innings. And look at this. Cedric Mullins, the center fielder, has got speed, and that little lazy hit, and Jeanette unable to get there and get that throw off quick enough is going to allow for an infield single, but we are going to get an infield fly ball to an out, and then here is Senzel over to Jeanette for a double play. That's exactly why Hughes is so good, because he does have that sinker ball that's just money. So definitely came through in the clutch. And here we go to the top of the 10th inning, I believe. It is difficult for me to see that. Yes, it is top of the 10th, and we get a fly ball. I'll pop up to Suarez in foul territory. So we're going back. We're going for more extra innings. Don't quit. Do not quit on this Reds team, guys. Ground ball here by Winker in the bottom of the 10th, and then Votto coming up, and he is going to drive this ball to the opposite part of the field, and Stewart's going to make that catch. So we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. So we are in the top of the 11th or 12th, and we get a fly ball, another pop-up to Votto. There's two down now. So Leclerc still out there, still churning outs, and then we get a line drive out there to Winker, but he's going to dive for it, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Billy Hamilton with his speed, thankfully, he gets there in time, or else that probably would have been a triple for Mullins. That's a really good thing that he cut that off. And here's Brad Miller up, and he gets a fastball right past Votto, and Mullins is going to have no problem scoring on this, guys. It is now 3-2. The Tigers take the lead on that RBI double late in this game. That pretty much, it sucks. It sucks. So now we got to rely on Suarez in the bottom half of the inning here with one down, and he's going to send a long line drive out there to left field, and it is just over the fence at the yellow line at the very top of the wall. It's gone for a solo shot. That's Warwick Saupold giving up the solo home run and the lead. So the Reds come back. It's now 3-3. The Cincinnati faithful going nuts. Fireworks booming. Guys, things are looking good so far. We just got to hold this Detroit offense right now. So we get to here we go. So the top of the 12th inning here, and Votto with that line drive gonna corral it, gonna make a nice catch. We are gonna go with Michael Lorenzen to pinch hit. So we're hoping for a big bang. We've used all of our batters from the bench to pinch hit for our pitchers because we are in the bottom half trying to shoot for a home run or some type of offense. He's going to get a base hit up the middle, and here is a long shot out there to left field, and there's Stewart giving chase, but it's gone. Jesse Winker walks it off for the Cincinnati Reds, guys. A well-fought victory, hard-fought victory here, much earned by the pitching staff, by the bullpen. The Tigers fought valiantly as well, but guys, I'm telling you what, this Reds team has no quit. This change in the top of the order is looking like it's pretty legit for us. It's going to help us out. Guys, I'll see you in episode 36 on Monday. Peace.